Oh, riser sole.
Riser sole?
A 90-gram weight in a sole?
How in the world do they do that? Seriously? It's all titanium?
This thing launches.
And it just doesn't spin. I can't believe how far this thing goes.
Do you have riser sole?
Seriously, this is the longest fairy wood you will ever hit.
Scott McCarron, you know this guy knows.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
You've heard me talk about Squares golf shoes and how they help you hit the golf ball further. And many of you are saying, oh, come on, Faldo, give us a break. How is that possible? But yes, they do. And it's proven with science.
What we noticed with the Square shoes was the shoe keeps the pressure in a more stable fashion towards the inside of the trail heel, allowing pressure to get to the lead side, generating much more club and speed and distance gain.
Visit squares.com. Change your shoes, change your game. Squares, the distance golf shoe.
Welcome back to Big's Golf Talk here on BGT-TV, Facebook, Yahoo, not Yahoo, YouTube. Yahoo, yeah. Greg Wise, the wisest man in golf, golf the wise way, and Big John Quick here with you on Big's Golf Talk. Yeah, you know, we just before that break, you watched and heard the interview with Daniela, and Greg, you want to give us an update on how she wound up doing for the tournament? As when the interview was recorded, she was just ending round number 2.
Well, she actually ended up 4th in the tournament, which is it's good, solid top 10 finish. We said our goodbyes really quick, and she was off to Ireland. So yeah. She's landed in Ireland now and getting ready for the Irish Open.
And this segment is sponsored by Squares Shoes, the distance shoe, proof, not promise. And Greg, I have to show you what came in my office yesterday. I think you might enjoy this because you are a Squares.
Oh, could you just take me off the air? I mean, that's painful because mine haven't shown up yet either.
So this just arrived. I wish it would have arrived in time for Indiana, but it is in time for Denver when I go out there and golf for Protect the Game golf outing. I'll be golfing out there in Denver next week, next Saturday. So looking forward to that. But
did I miss that invitation?
Yeah, because you're not an umpire.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I technically was a long time ago.
Yeah. So what happened was while we were in Indiana, I'm still recovering from that long trip. Holy cow, 8 days.
Told you it was going to be tough.
But I'll tell you what, it was certainly an experience. When I say French lick experience, I'm not kidding. It was an experience from the moment I got there to the moment I left. And, from the airport delays and everything else, it was certainly an experience. I'll tell you that. But we came across so many different things, Greg Wise, you and me, and it was great talking to Daniela. And yeah, we got to say goodbye to her just as she finished her round, because actually she was the second group to last on Sunday. And with 8 delays in the whole week from weather, who would have thought in Indiana you would see 8 delays in a golf tournament in a week, in 4 days?
Well, I said to the people at French Lick, if it was French Lick and it was a tournament, be prepared for weather, because we seem to do that each year. It's kind of interesting. But they also said at the end that they learned that they can evacuate a golf course much more efficiently now. And when you've practiced that event 8 times, you get really good at it. So they learned some valuable lessons as well.
Yeah, it was some valuable, and that's what they said too at the closing ceremonies. Is one thing that we did get good at, and we probably now have it down point is how to evacuate a golf course in a short period of time when lightning does arrive. And that's what it wasn't concern of the rain, although the rain did come down in buckets at times. But, certainly it was the lightning, and the lightning was very, very dangerous in that area all 4 days. So it was, I don't think they went a whole day without weather being impeded into the tournament. So, but I tell you what, everything was good. And I think we got Greg that is frozen right now. But everything was great. We enjoyed ourselves. We got to meet a lot of great people. Many countries was represented accordingly, and they had a really, really fun time.
I'm back.
You're back. There you go. There you go. So, but I was just saying on how the different countries was represented in this tournament. The largest purse on the Epson Tour yet this season, and actually in all the history of the Epson Tour. I mean, the winner walked away with over $50,000.
Well, the interesting part that they really connected with was they were pushing the schedule quite well, because they understood that like 8 to 10 of the girls that were in that final round were all catching flights to Ireland. So they were pushing their schedule to make that accommodation happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And some of the people had to drive to Chicago to get off because they had to rearrange, their schedules and stuff like that. So they get on a road to Chicago, and that's about a 5-hour drive from French Lick, Indiana.
Yeah. So the LPGA handled it very good. I mean, it was well put together, and they had little hiccups early in the week, but all in all, they handled it well for the ladies. Very well.
Pete Dye course certainly was in great condition. It was beautiful green color, and we got to golf the Donald Ross course and golf for the Sweeney Cup. The update on the Sweeney Cup is we didn't come in first place.
Yeah, we didn't win.
We didn't win, but we were like 2 strokes back. So we had a good time. It was fun. It was myself, it was Greg, 2 others from the media that was involved in that. So big hello to Big Mike. Big Mike was in our group, I believe it was. So no, actually he was not.
No, that was Terry.
It was Terry. Yes, Terry. We played with Big Mike on a practice round. That's right. So
we also played the Valley course, and that's the first time I ever played the Valley course. And it was unbelievably, surprisingly good.
It really was. It was. I was very. And for those that don't know the Valley course is a 9-hole course. It was the original course at French Lick Resort. It was originally 18 holes, and they cut it down to 9. But that course, I mean, it's walkable. It's flat, so it gives that all three courses that they have there. They have the Pete Dye course, the Donald Ross course, and they have the Valley course. All 3 courses offer something different. I will tell you, the Pete Dye course, I didn't get to golf that course, but I know Greg, you, and our former co-host has.
Yes.
And I have been told that I will need 2 to 3 dozen golf balls.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
If you don't keep it in the fairway, you're going to be looking for ever.
Well, I'm hearing, too, that and that's what's so good about these professional golfers. They go out there, their caddies walk the course prior and all that stuff, and they figure out, okay, if the ball lands in the fairway, what is it going to do afterwards? Because on the Pete Dye course, you could still be in the fairway and then still be out of bounds, because of where the ball lands, and it rolls, off to the left or off to the right and right down in the valley.
Well, there's some severe slopes that if you don't know how to play that course and you put it on the right side, it'll end up on the left side, and you'll be looking for that ball.
Donald Ross course, I would say the Donald Ross course isn't as slopey, but has many different elevations and hills, and you certainly get in trouble, but it's not as severe as the slants as you see on the Pete Dye course. Would you say that's correct?
Well, it's the typical Donald Ross false fronts and severe elevations up to the greens. I mean, we had one putt that basically broke about 7.5 feet. We were putting it up the hill to be able to get to the bottom of the hill.
Right.
And trying to control that shot. So we did good for what we had. We did good.
Yeah, no, it was a fun time. It definitely, the puttings, Donna Ross really takes on, those greens, and certainly gives you a challenge on every single green. Nothing was flat. And I don't even think we had one flat putt in all 18 holes that we played out there. Do you think
so you met somebody pretty interesting while you were at French Lick, right?
I did meet somebody very, very interesting, and as a matter of fact, that's one thing about the French Lick experience. So I was just coming back. I believe it was the practice round that I was coming back from. I parked the car in the garage. By the way, French Lick Resort, it was, when I first got there, it was very, very confusing of where I had to check in and and all that stuff. But it was figured out. Because you have the French Lick Hotel, Resort Hotel, then you have the West Bainham Hotel, and then you have the Valley Tower, which is a part of the French Lick Resort Hotel, and a whole separate check-in. So it was actually a good thing that I got, because my flight was delayed, and I got the car, and I didn't get there till almost 10 o'clock. It was like 9:20 that I arrived at the hotel. And I checked in, and Sarah at the front desk, a terrific, terrific person. So big hello to Sarah out there at the front desk at the tower, Valley Tower. And so I stayed in the same building where the casino was, which was dangerous for me.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
And so the first night I was there, I got there and I went to the front desk at the resort. They said, "Oh no, you're over here." I'm like, "Okay." I didn't see any signs to go, Valley Tower check-ins here, check-ins over here, whatever the case might be. But the people were very friendly. They guided you in the right direction. So went over there, checked in, got in my room. Beautiful, beautiful accommodations. And from my understanding, that Valley Tower, Greg, is fairly new and renovated.
I believe it's just 2 years old.
The rooms, yeah.
Yeah.
One of my media friends came up and said hi to the room, and he goes, "Oh my God." I guess most guys were over at the resort side. I think that's where you were, right? You were on the resort side.
We were in the historical side.
Yeah. And I walked in that lobby, and before I went to the Valley Tower, I was like, "Holy cow, I'm staying in this place. Oh, wow." And then I got sent over to the Valley Tower, and I thought, okay, I'm the wicked stepchild or something, being sent into another area. No, I wasn't the wicked stepchild. My media friend stopped by, and he was like, "Man, you got a bigger room. You got a bigger TV, man." And at first, I didn't think I had a refrigerator. He goes, "Well, I got a refrigerator, so you don't." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't have a refrigerator." Well, I found the refrigerator. Refrigerator was in the cabinet under where the TV stand was. And I didn't know what was in there. So I found that. But I had a beautiful, beautiful just walk-in shower, where I guess you guys on that side, most rooms have bathtubs.
Yeah. Well, the old historical type of hotel was just, it's quaint and it's very comfortable. But yeah, I mean, we had all the same stuff. We were never in the room anyway, except to sleep.
Yeah,
So
right,
what's the size of the room got to do with it?
Yeah. So the first night too, so I'm like hungry. I'm just getting back. I'm hungry, trying to look for food. By this time, it's like 10 minutes to 10. There's no room service. It was closed. And by the way, a lot of this stuff that's closed is closed for a purpose, because they are half of employees that they would have had 2 years ago. So they had 1,800 employees. They're now down to 900. So I was talking to Mr. Sweeney about that, and he's like, "Yeah, we need people." And one thing we realized too, we went to Denny's. Remember, we went to Denny's for breakfast?
Yeah, that
And they
said
closed at
breakfast,
3
lunch,
p.m.
and dinner.
Yeah, and closed at 3 p.m. because they're shorthanded. So if you're in the French Lick area and you're looking for a job, everyone is hiring, and they want to open up a Taco Bell there. So But what a beautiful, beautiful town it is. But yeah, so I was coming back to I ran into something special, part of the French Lick experience. I was coming back, parked the car, was saying hi to Sarah, but as I came back, I heard someone singing. Now I thought at first it was an event that one of the room that they have the little restaurant or something. Thought maybe they had a private event there, and she was singing. A young lady was. Well, no, it wasn't an event. It was an employee. She was on her hands and knees and combing out the tussles on a rug and singing. I said, I got to get an interview with this girl. So I called a friend of mine who I knew was in the same hotel, and I called him over to come and help me hold the camera while I was interviewing her. I have this interview for you right now here on Big's Golf Talk. Take a look at this. Quick from Big's Golf Talk. As you know, I'm in French Lick, Indiana, covering the Epson Tour for the LPGA. Just got finished competing in the Swinney Cup. Quite didn't get the win, but we had a good time out there at the Donald Ross course. But you know, when you come to French Lick, there are things that you may not expect to see. One of those things is when you see people working and the meticulous effort that they have to make this place look fabulous and phenomenal. When I came from the parking garage and I came down to the front desk to talk to my good friend Sarah at the front desk, I heard a sound of beauty, as you can hear in the background right now. I would have my producer right now just pan, and then we're going to talk to her. Shyanne.
Please don't take him even though you can. He talks about you in his sleep. There's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene.
Shyanne, can I ask you to come up for a little bit here?
Sure.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Shyanne Chastain.
Shyanne is one of the employees here at French Lick Resort, and she works in the tower, the Valley Tower area. As you could see with the rug, with my producer, as he pans down to the rug, the meticulous effort that they have on the edging. She takes a little brush and a comb, and she combs it out. And as she does so, she sings a few bars. And it's the beauty of her sound and voice. And here we have Shyanne. Shyanne, you from this area?
Actually, no, I'm from Michigan, Niles, Barron County.
Niles, Barron County?
Yep.
Have you always had a voice for music, had interest in music?
Actually, from a very young age. I remember coming out with the Wii. It was the most expensive thing my parents had ever bought. We were all so excited, and they got karaoke, and we were all taking turns while my family had family game night, and it was I Kissed a Girl. It was the first song I had to sing. I loved Katy Perry back then. And they all stopped, and they came in and go, Shy, is that you? And I turned and I go, yeah. And my mom goes, I didn't know you could sing. I look, I go, I can sing? I was like, I just like music, Mama. And she goes, well, keep going. So I did, and then it was shout, 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 let it all out. You know, that song. Yeah. And then as I got older, I started playing instruments. I played guitar, clarinet, flute, saxophone, bass clarinet, trumpet, and piano. I just loved music. And then when I got to high school, I joined choir for the first time, and it was called Scarlet's. They're in Bedford, and I don't know, my teacher looked at me, and I didn't think I was that good. I've heard other people, and I was like, I just love it. I just do it because I love it, And my teacher was like, I want everybody to take opera, to learn to control our vocals. So I was going to, but I couldn't afford it. But the opera teacher said that I had a lot of potential, so he went ahead and started giving me classes anyway, even though I couldn't afford it. And I wasn't into opera. I was like, I'm not that kind of girl. I grew up listening to Bon Jovi and Metallica, the old stuff, Right. And I was like, I ain't no, opera kind of girl. And he was like, well, let me take you to a show. He took me to a show, and I was like, wow, I was like, that's real talent. I was like, I don't think I could ever get to that. He was like, I think you can. So he started like training me for like 3 years, and then I had to drop out because I ended up going homeless at 16. So I went ahead, I dropped out, and that was the hardest decision of my life, but I didn't know how to take care of myself.
How long have you been working for French Lick Resort?
About 3 months, almost 4 maybe.
Now, what made you, I mean, you're working, you're performing your duties, but as you're, what is this, the process that you were doing with the rug?
Well, since I started, it was really tangled. You can see all this stuff in it.
Okay.
And my motto is, if you see something, do it. Even if it's not in our job description, I think we should do it. Just because if I were to come into this hotel as a guest and I didn't work here, and I were to see something like that, I'm like, for a place that's supposed to be 5-star, it doesn't look like it. Like, it doesn't look like they care enough. Like, this carpet is $9,000 just for this carpet, and it does not look like it. So I was like, I want to put some work into it. I don't care if it's a busy day or not. I thought it needed it. So I went ahead and I just got a comb with a pointed end. And if you can look here, this right here is all crocheted.
Yes.
And towards the end, I noticed that it started getting loose. I crochet. So I went ahead, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna start pushing it up, making it tighter, and then start getting all the tangles out. But to keep myself, going throughout the day, because like working here can be hard. There's a lot of stuff to be done. There's a lot of protocols we have to go through. And singing just one of the things I love. And I sing every day in those bathrooms.
Really?
And sometimes when I get off at 10:30, and I go out here on front because I don't have a car. So I take the trolley to meet my husband over at his job. And I sing out there, and a woman came up to me yesterday. She goes, you should really pursue it. And I go, I'm a mama now. I was like, I got a 3-year-old. I don't think my dreams matter anymore. But she was like, you really should. She's like, me and my friends and people I didn't even know all came together just to listen. She's like, your voice brings people together. And that just made me feel so good. I do it just because I love it.
Sure.
Like, I love music. I always have. It just, for me, especially since I didn't grow up in a good environment and I was homeless for as long as I was, it's just, music got me through it. There's a song for anything you're going through, anything you're feeling. There's music for it.
Do you have a favorite song?
Girl Crush.
Girl Crush?
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorites. I started that one when I was really young, and now it's just in there.
Yeah.
And also one that I sing to my son, which is You Are My Sunshine. It's one my mom used to sing to me when I was little, and one year she just stopped. But it was in there, so like I sing it to my boy.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Part of the French Lick experience here with Big's Golf Talk, and something we've experienced this whole week so far, you just never know what you're going to see here in French Lick, Indiana. Cheyenne's a proof of that. When as I walk into the lobby, I see her working and singing a beautiful song with a beautiful voice. Can you give us a few more bars of your favorite song?
I've got a girl who cries, hate to admit it, but I've got a high rise and ain't slowing down. Yeah, I got it real bad. Want everything she has. That smile and that midnight
Just never know what you're going to hear, what you're going to see here at French Lick Resort. More of the French Lick experience right here on Big's Golf Talk. Cheyenne, thank you so much.
It's great. I hope you enjoyed your stay.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
So there you go. I don't hear you, Greg. Oh, here you go. I know why I don't hear you. There we go. You were on mute.
I'm
You're
back.
You are back.
That's one thing about French Lick that I've always experienced. You go to a grand hotel, you play some incredible golf courses, yeah, but you're treated like a guest and a best friend to just about everybody there. I mean,
Yeah.
they have that atmosphere going, that it's the friendly atmosphere that makes you feel like you want to go back. Like, okay, so you really don't want to leave.
Yeah. It was just an amazing experience. Just not with Cheyenne, but throughout the whole town. We kind of ventured out, went to a couple local, stops and had some lunch and stuff like that. And the people were just so friendly. And we heard the same thing over and over again. Just, they can't stay open real late because they just don't have the staff. And so,
Right.
it's a tough time right now in these small towns where, you don't have the people to work and all that stuff. So you find themselves either shutting down for a day because they don't have anybody to work that day, or just opening up for a minimal hours, to stay alive. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but French Lick Resort is in full swing, and the golf courses are open, beautiful golf courses, all 3 golf courses. And that's what I like about, what you and I, Greg, I mean, okay, we like looking at our time. Hey, I have an idea. Let's go play the Valley Court. It's only 9 holes. We'll be done in, hour and a half, So it was a fun time. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, we sort of broke the rules that day, but that's okay. We were having fun.
Yeah, we broke the rules, but we did follow through with letting people play through when they caught up with us. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I think there was 6 of us that was out there. So
Yeah, that was a fun day. If
It
you're out
was
of the hole pickup.
it was a fun day. It was fun meeting your son and meeting your grandson, and great. They live in Italy, and
Yeah.
they were here for the trip. Great meeting your wife, Bev. She's the wisest woman in golf. You might be the wisest
Yeah,
man in
there
golf. She's the
you
wisest
go.
woman that keeps you on your toes and keeps you wise. So,
She keeps me going straight. Yes, absolutely.
all right, we're gonna head in. We're running late here. We're gonna head into our next break here. We'll keep it quick, and when we come back, it's Big's product of the week, and I'm sure you're gonna like our Big's product of the week right here on Big's Golf Talk. We'll be right back.